I guess I'll just be blunt about it. You're gonna experience a lot more death with fish than other exotic pets, especially if you have a lot of them. Hey guys, this is my first kind of informal video. I don't really have a script for this, but I just wanted to talk about something that does happen in owning pets, and especially with owning fish, because out of all of the exotic pets that you could own, between reptiles, fish, small mammals, birds, I guess I'll just be blunt about it, you're gonna experience a lot more death with fish than other exotic pets, especially if you have a lot of them. So basically the reason why I'm making this video is because I have a fish that just passed away yesterday morning. We got him about, I want to say like 4 months ago. It was a Mickey Mouse male, a Mickey Mouse platy. Got him from Petco, I believe. I've mentioned in other videos I get most of my fish from people who are looking to rehome them, because that's a big need, especially where we live around a military base. A lot of people need to rehome their fish quite often, unfortunately, no fault of their own. So I try to do that most of the time, but we have gotten some fish from the local pet stores. So anyway, I noticed that this platy was hiding a little bit more than usual last week, hiding kind of below one of our sponge filters, which I was like, oh, that's kind of odd. You know, we have two male platies in there, and he's the more aggressive one of the two. And I was like, oh, that's a little odd that he's hiding. You know, that's not in personality. And then he stopped eating this week. So I noticed that 3-4 days ago. And so it's like, okay, he's not eating and he's hiding. That's weird, you know, not good. But there was nothing wrong with him. No one was picking on him. His fins looked great. He wasn't too fat. He wasn't super skinny looking, particularly. He kind of looked the same as he had been. It was just his behavior that had changed. So I was like, okay, I'm keeping an eye on him. Obviously, I'm going to keep watching him and see, you know, what's going on. If I notice anything that's like definitely a sickness or an illness, we have a hospital tank, we have antibiotics, I'll, you know, put him on that, he'll be fine. And then 2 days ago, I noticed him resting on the bottom of the tank in the middle of the day. And I was like, okay, this guy probably doesn't have much time left. And, you know, I showed my wife the night before, and I was like, you know, take a look at this guy. And she was like, okay, you know, we've got one of these floating, you know, little guppy birthing cages. Let's put him in there so that we can relieve some pressure on his swim bladder. She's a little bit more of the medical side of things when it comes to, you know, animals. She's a pre-vet and all that. So I was like, okay, you know, sounds good, let's do it. So we put him in this little, you know, little thing, floating thing. I tried to give him some flakes, you know, and he's in there with no one else eating them. So I'm like, okay, if he's not eating because he's not fast enough, he'll be able to eat in here. Didn't touch any of it. And the next morning, he was gone. And so I just kind of wanted to share this experience, because I know I did make another video recently about all the mistakes I've made that have killed fish. With, like, you know, not doing water the right way, putting tank mates together that are not supposed to be together, you know, not cleaning out filters the right way, and just a whole bunch of different things. But sometimes, you know, fish are just old. Sometimes they just go. And it's not an illness that you can quarantine or use antibiotics to get them out of. It's not a feeding issue that you can separate them, or, you know, feed them a better food or a different food, or, you know, away from people who steal it from them. It's not, you know, an aggression issue where you have someone in there that shouldn't be in there with them and they're just getting picked on and they're getting killed. Like, you know, sometimes they just go. It's just their time. And, you know, especially, like I said, getting this one from a big box pet store, who knows how long, you know, this fish was bred in some, you know, crazy, probably not great fish farm somewhere, got shipped to this pet store, who knows how long that journey was, and then stayed in this pet store for who knows how long before we got him, you know? So, like, there's no telling what the lifespan is, or there's no telling how much life the fish have lived before you get them. Obviously, you can tell with some fish, like, oh, this bristlenose pleco is, like, this big, okay, that was just born, right? But, like, when the fish are about the size they're supposed to be full grown, there's really no telling how old they are, besides behavior. And so, you know, I guess that's just what I want to say is when your fish dies, look at everything that you're doing, evaluate everything you're doing for all of your fish. If you notice a problem, oh, I'm not taking care of my water that good, or I've been slacking on water changes, or I just switched to this new food and none of them are eating it, or, you know, I just put this new tank mate in, he's like killing everyone. Like, you know, identify everything that you're doing with your fish, and if you're not doing anything wrong, it might not be your fault. So, you know, it's kind of a sad video, but I guess I just wanted to give some encouragement to y'all. And you can see my fish tank back here in the background. Sorry for the shaky cam, I'm literally just recording on my phone right now. But yeah, sometimes, you know, that shaky cam is bad. Oh, I should have done that from the beginning. Still getting new to YouTube, y'all. So if you have any comments for me on the production side of things, I'd appreciate it. But yeah, that's all I got for you today. You know, like I said, keep your head up. It's a really fun hobby. These animals are beautiful and amazing, and they're not around forever. So just know that going into it, know that while you're in it, and, you know, like I said, just keep your head up. Every animal's life is valuable and precious and amazing, and all that we can do is give them the best life we can until they move on. So thank you for watching. Thank you for spending your precious time with me here today. And, you know, if you know someone going through something like this, a fish dying, just give them some encouragement. That's all I got for today. Thank you.